Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Herald-Standard.com's Bucco Banter. And we're at the halfway point of the season. We just had the All-Star game and amazing first half for the Pirates. And John, where are we at here?
The Pirates are at 48-37, 11 games over 500, and get this, fans, first place in the division, one game ahead of the Reds. I wasn't too surprised that they would be competitive this year, but I didn't think they would be doing this well. And it's got to be the emergence of the hitting, because the pitching has been there, but that was always the big question. And last month or so, they really turned it on.
Yeah, unbelievable hitting, and to me, they were in first place even past this date last year. But to me, being 11 games over 500, they were never close to that last year.
Yeah.
I think they got up to about 7.
I think 7 was the number,
before they collapsed,
and then it just kind of went downhill. And then the Atlanta series came, and then from there it was just pretty much awful.
And, we're going into the second half, and the hitter that's been there all year is Andrew McCutchen, and he was in the All-Star game along with Joel Hanrahan, 2 Pirates, and you could have made a case for, 3 other guys, right? We were saying A.J. Burnett, James McDonald, Jason Grilli, even, if you want to take a middle reliever. He's the best. He's got the most holds, I think, in the major leagues right now.
He does, has tremendous, he comes in, he's got some, what they say, grilly cheese or whatever. I don't know.
He has a heck of a lot of strikeouts. He's got one of the best strikeouts to inning ratios.
And then, of course, Hanrahan, and we talked about the pitching.
Mm-hmm.
But McCutchen, he's leading the league in hitting, 362, 18 home runs he leads the Pirates in home runs. And home runs, even though he was in the Derby, and we'll touch on that a little later, isn't really McCutchen's. It's not like he's always trying to put the ball out of the park. He's more of a line drive type hitter.
Right.
And
60 RBIs too, right?
Yes, and I guess getting to the All-Star game, the Derby, he had 4 homers. Were you impressed, Rob? I felt he had a pretty decent showing. Nothing spectacular.
I was talking with some friends, and I don't know if I was telling you about this or not, but we were talking about we don't want him to mess up his swing. So if he can get 4 or 5, it's better than any other Pirates done in the past, and then not make the second round so he doesn't keep swinging and mess up his swing. That's exactly what we wanted, and that's what he did. He tied for 5th, basically. Actually, it was 5th because his longest homer was further than whoever he tied with. I forget who it was. But, the only thing I didn't like about the whole thing was the idiots at ESPN were interviewing Josh Hamilton.
I was going to bring up the split screen, but you beat me to it.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about that, because I was so
I was watching it on my phone, ironically, and I really thought Josh Hamilton was in it, the way they were talking about him. And I know he was there, and I know they do that, but
he's a great story, yeah.
I don't know if we can... it's a shame, because McCutchen is... definitely one of the brightest young stars in the game. I don't care if he plays for Pittsburgh or the Yankees. I don't think it's fair to any player. If a Yankee was up there, I didn't watch anybody else other than McCutchen, but
I could see another player there, really. But McCutchen, he's there. He's probably never going to be there again, and it's his first time. And the Pirates, this was a great first half. Do you think you could have talked to him just to talk about him a little bit and about the team this year? I just really irked me. But anyhow, Cecil Fielder won it. He was 5th or whatever.
Well,
and the actual
Cecil's son, but
that's right. I'm back in the guy that hit 50 way back when. But Prince Fielder. But in the All-Star game, a good showing by the guys. What did you think? They both did well.
And McCutchen, 1 for 2, had a
nice solid hit.
2-strike
hit.
And with all the foul balls he was getting in that at-bat, I was like, well, at least they'll give Joe Buck some time to mention the Pirates. I always feel like when they get on that national stage, it's nice because nobody's going to talk about them really too much. And I understand they've been bad for so long. You're not going to be talked about until you start winning. But it was nice to see Andrew get in and did a decent job. Hanrahan, I don't know what was going on with those wild pitches, but he at least got the strikeout and didn't make himself look bad. He didn't spoil the shutout for the NL. So, all in all, I think pretty positive experience for the Buccos. And
they won, and nationally won 8-0. Hanrahan, I think La Russa, in typical La Russa style, used 3 different pitches in the 9th inning. Hanrahan got the second out, and so they won 8-0. So if the Pirates do get to the World Series, they will have the home field advantage.
I did see your A.J. Burnett Game 7 of the World Series starting post.
Yep.
And if that happens, I that would be something special. But we got Milwaukee coming up on the road. Milwaukee's a little down this year, but that'll be a pretty tough series. They got to show that they can win on the road, or at least be 500 and come back at home and do what they've been doing. And I think all was roads to the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see if they can. I think going through last year, that collapse is probably going to help this year. I think they're going to hang the whole year. Right now, I want to talk about some All-Star games past. And you don't have many All-Star game experiences with the Pirates, I guess. But
Ed Sprague, 1999, the first year I consistently started watching the Pirates. That's my memory. But
well, let me tell you two. The two that stick out for me are '79 when Dave Parker made a throw from right field to save the game for him, gunned down a tying run at the plate. It was a tremendous play by him. He actually threw out a runner earlier in the game, too, and he misplayed a foul ball. He lost in the lights. He got it and gunned down Jim Rice of the Red Sox going to third. And that was a great play. Another one, one thing you guys probably remember is the Pete Rose play in 1970. If you're older out there, Pete Rose came around, 12th inning, plows into the Ray Fawcett for the Indians to win the game, winning run. Earlier in that game, it was in the 9th inning, the National League was down 3 runs. They came back and tied it, and the guy that tied it was a sacrifice fly by Roberto Clemente. In the next inning, Willie Horton hit a ball off the wall as they were trying to get a run to go back ahead the American League. Clemente played it perfectly in Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati, held him to a single. Eventually led to the 12th inning, and Pete Rose got a hit. So that would have never happened if it wasn't for Roberto Clemente's great play out there and his sacrifice fly. Anyhow, that's my All-Star memories for this week. John, me and John will see how the second half kicks off in 1 week from now.